So Paula, you are the chair of the Tallahassee Leon Commission on Women and Girls. And tell me what that group does.
So the Tallahassee Leon Commission on the Status of Women and Girls is a joint effort between both the city and county commission. There are 21 volunteers whose mission is to bring forth those issues that impact women and girls in the Leon Tallahassee community. So we have dynamic women, business owners, educators, lawyers, those of us that work in state government. We've all come together to make sure that both commissions know what the needs are of women and girls in our community.
Excellent. And how are those women selected?
Well, there's a three-way process. You can come through the CSWG, and that process is kind of maintained through the Oasis Center for Women and Girls. You can also be brought on through the city or county. So the mayor or one of the commissioners can go ahead and submit your name, and you go through an application process. And if you're selected, you can become one of us.
Okay, excellent. So you all are about the business of establishing policy or recommending policy.
Recommendations.
Yes, recommending policy that has women in mind. What's y'all's focus this year?
So we've been doing a lot of different things, but this year we're concentrating on finalizing the last piece of Year of the Girls, which was an initiative that was started last year under our former chair, Sharon James. It was under her administration. So we've highlighted 12 girls thus far over the, 11 girls, 12 girls this month, over the course of the year. So these are girls that do great things in the community. They're great students, they're great role models. So we wanted to celebrate them. So we give them this huge gift baskets with a lot of treats. We go out to their schools and we celebrate the great young women they are and the great leaders they are becoming. We are also happy to introduce our summit that's coming up. So I don't know if you're going to ask me about that later or you want me to launch into that.
Look, jump on it.
It's Ignite the Power Within, and we are so excited about it.
You're not excited about that,
We are super excited about this. We have been working really hard over the last few months. Our plan is to convene 300 women and girls on the campus of Tallahassee Community College on April 14th from 9 to 3.
Wow.
So in this day, we'll have team building, we'll have great speakers, great food, entertainment. It's going to be a blast. We have a great lineup of speakers already. So we have Judge Nina Richardson, she's on board. We have Heidi Otway, Elizabeth Reese, we have Robin Hassler Thompson, Dr. Jodrika Spites Brown. I always seem to get that wrong, but I know who she is.
You sound like you did it good.
Oh, yes, I hope so. And we will also have you joining us, and that is also one of those workshops that we're super excited about. So you will have a chance to talk to the ladies. We'll have a chance to connect as women and talk about those issues that are important to us. So if you're a Leon County school student, your absences are automatically excused if you fill out your pre-excused form. For our ladies, the cost is $20. That covers food. But if they're having problems paying that $20, they don't have to not come. We have scholarships available.
Excellent.
So we want all of the women right there in that spot on next Friday.
So why do you think this event is important? What's the importance of women and girls coming together in a summit to hear about the various sundry topics that will be presented?
I think it's important for a number of reasons. One, there's just a lot of negativity on the national scene, and I'm not going to bring that into the forefront. But what we want girls to see is that there are women leading things. There are powerful women that are doing great things in our community. And what's important is for them to see these leaders, talk to these leaders, know that they're approachable. You can see them in Publix, you can see them at the library. And also knowing that these women are there to help them. All they need to do is ask. But we will be in one place so that they can have a conversation with them. And I think as women, we don't have enough of an opportunity just to kind of connect and talk to one another. we have great resources. We have great ladies that are doing amazing things. And sometimes it's just that conversation, being able to sit down for a minute and say, you do what? And that way you can connect and you can talk about sharing those resources. I think all of these things are critical for women.
They are. You know, I'm all about conversation
I
and
know.
connecting people through conversation.
And I love that.
So I'm so excited about this too.
This segment is brought to you by Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law. Stay tuned for more conversations.
You know, oftentimes we don't sit down and take the time to, share and exchange ideas. So this is critical.
Absolutely.
So as it relates to the commission, what other activities do you all do throughout the year?
So if I could possibly go back just a little bit, last year we celebrated 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And what's a little bit concerning is that people don't always know that we're here. We are here. We're a resource. And it shows that both the city and county are really concerned about what happens with our women and girls. This isn't the norm to have two commissions come together and create something like us. So in this work, we've had great leaders that pull together information that have changed workplace policies.
Really?
Related to sexual harassment. We've had organizations being stood up, and one that I'm talking about in particular is with Jessica Low Minor. Jessica and her group did a lot of work with sexual violence. So there have been a lot of great information that has come through our work, and what we do is compile that information. We have groups where girls get together and tell us what they need, what they see, what they want.
Okay.
We do the same thing with women. So these women have done a lot of work over the last 5 years. I'm in the middle of my year 6, and I'm still like a deer in the headlights because there's so much that they have done. So it's not a competition, but I want to get it right, and I don't want to misstep. So I have a lot of great role models that are kind of helping to push this forward. And what we want people to know is that we are there, we're a resource, and we want to hear from them. We don't want to assume that we know what women and girls want. They need to tell us. And I think all of us are pretty approachable.
Do you do a survey of girls and women? Or?
So in the past, we would convene groups. So we would go out to the schools, we would meet at Oasis, we would meet at the library or community centers like Palmer Monroe. And the girls that were there, we'd just sit and have a conversation much like we're having now.
Excellent.
And we would ask a series of questions, and then we would have guided discussions to kind of figure out what was going on in their lives. So we'll also have an opportunity to do that at the summit this year, because the other part of this work, we're going to have a status of girls report. We've been working on this, and it's a huge lift. We've been working on it for about 1.5 years now. So at the end of this year, hopefully towards the end of spring, we will have this great piece of information that tells us what's happening with girls right here in our community.
Now, will this be based on the group meetings that you've had?
Yes, that'll be a combination of those meetings and the information that we will gather from the summit, just information that we've been compiling over the last 1.5 years.
Okay. And what type of information will you be compiling at the summit?
We want to keep that part a secret, so that when everybody sees this broadcast, they're not already thinking in their minds how they're going to answer that question. So if you would allow me a point of personal privilege and not share that right now. But it is, all the surveys are always anonymous. And it's nothing that would lead to other things that need to happen. It's just really, what resources would you like to see here? What's happening with social media? As a young person, what do you want to do with your life? What inspires you? Who inspires you? How do you get there? Do you know how to get there? And those are some of the things, but not quite the exact questions.
Okay, well, I thank you for sharing a little snippet with us.
Thank you.
So how does one get involved with the summit?
So all they have to do is go to the Oasis website. They can find our information there, or they can go to the Tallahassee Leon Commission on the Status of Women and Girls. We're on Facebook. They can Google it, or they can just go to Eventbrite and look for Ignite the Power Within. It's in Tallahassee, and just register. Or they could always call me, 850-339-3734.
Okay, well, they got it all right from you.
I hope so.
Yes, ma'am.
We want every woman in Tallahassee there. Now, we are going to have to cap it at 300.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for your time today, and I look forward to being at the summit.
Thank you for having me.
Igniting the power.
Within.
All right.
Come on, ladies and girls.
Okay. Stay tuned for more conversations.